Hello there guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be continuing the Trollhunters countdown for Rise of the Titans. I'm going to be doing my ratings of Season 3 of the episodes of Trollhunters. Basically, there's a lot of my favorite episodes in Season 3. If you didn't see my last video of me rating Season 2, that was a pretty hard one for me to decide because I love a lot of those episodes. Season 3 is definitely, there's a lot of dramatic ones and a lot of strange, crazy ones, and a lot of stuff happens. So pretty much we're going to go ahead and get started. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss a beat on this Trollhunters Rise of the Titans countdown to the July 21st. Alright, let's get started into this video. Okay, so we're going to get started. I was kind of afraid to this one because Season 3 is so emotional for me. I cried so much on so much of these episodes. It was probably unhealthy. I still cry if I watch some of these episodes because I just can't handle it anymore. But let's just get started. Okay, like before, I'm gonna start reading them beforehand. That way I don't miss one on accident like I did in the first season. Like this. I place as the number 5. Oh my gosh, I completely came. Well, it's too late now. But that won't happen again. Okay, so Episode 1 is Night Patrol. Episode 2 is going to be Arcadia's Most Wanted. Episode 3 is Bad Coffee. Episode 4, So I'm Dating a Sorceress. Episode 5 is The Exorcism of Clara Nunez. Episode 6 is Parental Guidance. Episode 7, The Oath. Episode 8, For the Glory of Merlin. Episode 9, In the Good Hands. Episode 10, A House Divided. Episode 11, Gem Hunters. Episode 12, The Eternal Night. Episode 13, Eternal Night Part 2. Okay, so for my first one, it's going to be complete easy. It's going to be Gem Hunters. I've watched this one so many times. It's so beautiful. This is the episode where after Jim becomes a troll, it's basically him trying his new abilities, but then learning that he has to leave his whole life behind because he made this decision. It's a very emotional episode. I love it though so much, although it's very sad. I cried at this one too. Okay. And it's also the first time we hear Clara say I love you to Jim. And we still have yet to hear, there's 3 other seasons in Tells Arcadia. We have yet to hear Jim tell Claire that he loves her. This movie better not disappoint. I need to hear it. That's all I'm asking. Okay, before I go on ranting about that, let's continue on my favorites list. Okay, my second favorite on the list is going to have to be A House Divided. This episode, man, let me tell you. Okay, so this is the episode basically where Jim makes the decision to become a troll and he steps into the bathtub, and we all know this episode. But this is probably going to be one of my favorite ones. It was so beautiful. Like, the animation on it was gorgeous. When Jim's sitting there in the bathroom before he goes into the bathtub, when he is remembering everything, he has the flashback to when he first summoned the armor, when he rubs his thumb against the amulet. Oh, I love it so much. I love this scene so much. And his family is banging on the door saying, Jim, just open up the door. Everyone he cares about is just banging on that door. I mean, I guess Blinky wasn't there, but still. I definitely like the episode, though. And I like how the fight scene with Merlin, beforehand, he's like, step away from the door, old man. Who are you calling old, or whatever? When Merlin summons that sword, his own sword. I like that scene. I thought it was pretty neat. My third favorite episode is probably going to be So I'm Dating a Sorceress. That's going to be episode 4. Basically, that's when Claire's kind of gets possessed by Morgana and is kind of mind control and taking over. But it's hilarious. I love it so much. Technically, it's Jim and Claire's first date if you look at it the way Toby does. But I loved it so much. It was hilarious. The part where they're sitting outside and then Ducey comes up and he's all like, how do you like your steaks? And then Jim's all threateningly well done. And Claire's just all raw and dripping with blood. And she is just so disturbed by herself. I love it so much. Anyway, so episode 4 is going to be my third favorite. My fourth favorite is going to probably be Eternal Night Part 1. So that's episode 12. Eternal Night Part 1 is so beautiful. The fight scenes in it are gorgeous. I love everything about the Eternal Nights Part 1 and Part 2, which is why Part 2 is going to be my 5th favorite. Part 2 is so dramatic. It's the end of Trollhunters, which is very sad. I mean, I guess there was other season stuff, but it was the end of Trollhunters, which is pretty sad. but also it felt like kind of good. It had a really good ending. I was pretty sad though how Jim had to end up leaving his mom behind, which was really depressing. I depressed for that for a long time. I cry at the end of that, and when he leaves Toby and says we'll go get tacos. So sad. They better go get tacos from Rise of the Titans. I swear. Do not do me like that. Okay, so my 6th favorite is probably going to be In Good Hands. That's episode 9. This is when you actually get to meet Aja and Krell for the first time. It's their introduction. I remember being so confused when they first came out. I'm like, who are these kids? Like, I don't care about this. I want to see what's going on with Jim. But I definitely loved this episode. It's hilarious how Jim had to basically babysit these kids just so we could pass the sophomore year. I'm all like, okay, Jim, I see you. Anyways, so a quiz. How many days did Jim miss from school? He says in the episode, how many days did he miss? Throw in the comments below, because let's see if you know. Because I know, but I want to see if you know. Anyways, my top 7 is probably going to be Bad Coffee. I love this one. This one is episode 3. Basically, this is when Jim and Toby kind of team up with Steve and Eli, and the teachers kind of like lose their minds because of like this troll dust they consume thanks to Jim. But I love this episode so much. It kind of showed like a softer side to Steve too, and I kind of like seeing that. You know, it was kind of like another character development for Steve. My episode 8 would probably have to be The Oath. Is episode 7. This episode's honestly really heartbreaking, but I also get Droll back in this episode, but before he dies, which is kind of tragic. But I did love this episode so much. This is when they go inside Merlin's tomb, and I love seeing the gyms, like that gym room that they were in. Not gym, I mean like a stone gym, but the gym's room that they were in, and I like seeing the like place that they were in beforehand. That kind of like resembled Camelot a bit, but like time would change if you stepped on a certain pedestal, which was pretty neat. I hope they kind of revisit that area again in Rise of the Titans. That would be pretty interesting to see. Alright, so then my top 9 for my favorites would probably be Parental Guidance. I like this one, and I like getting to see that the parents finally got to know what their kids were up to. I like seeing Barbara trusting Jim again, which was sweet. I liked it. I like seeing that a lot. Episode 10, my top 10 would have to be episode 2, which is Arcadia's Most Wanted. Basically, this one is when Jim gets arrested for like the 2nd time in the series. But no, basically they're trying to figure out what is going on with their stuff missing, and they're like, oh, it's a troll, we had to get this under control. But it ends up being actual thieves, and then they're like, oh, it's an actual thief stole this stuff. So it's kind of funny. I also like seeing this parts where Toby like stole a police car and stuff. It was hilarious. Okay, then my top 11 would have to be For the Glory of Merlin. I'm not saying I don't really like this episode. I just don't really like Merlin. He ruined my life until Wizards came out. But yeah, so he doesn't get a high rating on his episode. This is when he actually meets Merlin, Jim does, and then basically Gunmar also awakes Morgana. A lot goes down in this episode pretty much, but basically you kind of get to meet Merlin for the first time and learn that he's a complete jerk. But I'm not going to go into that right now because I don't even have hard feelings towards Merlin. He's dead. It doesn't matter. And he's a fictional character. 12 is probably going to be Night Patrol, episode 1. I'm not saying I didn't really like this one. I did like the battle between Droll and Jim. Well, the mind control Droll and Jim. I like that a lot, and this is actually the first episode where Juicy comes in, and I love the part in that episode when Jim asks him like, oh, so where are you from, and can we send you back? I love that so much. It's just too funny. And then my 5th one is going to be The Exorcism of Claire Nunez. Not saying I don't like this one, but it kind of just got on the dark side for me, so I don't really like that, but that's just my personal opinion. But, so that's going to be episode 5 for me. Anyways, that's basically when Jim frees Claire from the control of Morgana, which is pretty neat. Anyways, so those were my rankings of Trollhunters Season 3 of my favorite episodes. I hope you guys enjoyed. Next, we're going to be doing the... Anyways, so those were my rankings of the Trollhunters of season 3. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to throw your your rankings of which episodes you liked from top to least. I definitely want to see what you guys have to say. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to keep it crispy and have a lively day. Have a great day, guys.